So he was here all along.
This poor guy looks like he was important.
That looks like a piece of the thing you were fiddling with at camp. Ready, aim. Wow, smells like a whale's insides.
Sabu! Times are hard, but the Animancers haven't failed us yet.
Welcome back. You are here to collect a bounty, huh? Whose death am I recording? Impressive. I wonder if my theory about her is correct. Is that so? Huh, how fascinating. Here's hoping I get approved to study the flow of essence into the region's fauna after all this is done. If only we could find a way to coexist with them. But I suppose it is in their nature to oppose innovation. Huh? Nature? Good. Outlaws living off the hard work of others deserve nothing less. Perfecto.
You have the heart. Excellent. You have the heart. Excellent. For an Adiran, you're very resourceful, and a more than capable companion for poor Giada. You have the heart. Excellent. For an Adir. Nature is as stubborn as ever, I see. Fair enough. Here's payment for your troubles. Now that I've got the heart, my thirsty invention will drink deeply of its essence. All that's left to do is calibrate it. First things first, let's have a look at your soul. I'm going to ask some questions to induce a metaphysical quiver. No, not to worry, just testing your reflexes. Let's start with an easy one. You wake up on a beach, looking up into the sun. Your hands are covered in blood. It's less of a question and more of a stimulus. As long as you're honest, there's no wrong answer. All right. Let's try some word association. Tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Pendulum. chrysalis.
The spark ignites a flame. An idea ignites a war.
Hello? You still with me? In that case, let's stop it before I do any lasting damage. Hey, let's go over your results. Your soul is like a piece of sea glass. All the edges are smoothed down. Quite beautiful, really. Your godlike nature is a marvel to behold. Not to besmirch a colleague, but watchers aren't the most reliable sources. What I see is something entangled about your soul. An outside presence that both is and isn't a part of you. It's old, dark, and rather tricky to pin down. Very interesting. Nothing harmful, at least not yet. Fascinating. Thank you for getting my machine calibrated again. But you came for Giata's theory of the Dream Scourge. Between the two of us, she's on to something. Our farms are in great peril. The essence has been drained from the land, diverted, like the flow of a river. All I can tell you is keep looking. You'll find what you're after. As much as I hate giving people bad news, that's all I have. Please give Giata my fondest regards.
Keep looking, huh? I'm getting a bad feeling about what we'll find.
Yeah, I'll be honest. He lost me when he started talking about souls. What did I miss?
I have a lot of packing ahead of me, but I've earned a short rest. I hate to admit it, but I saw that one coming. Those two don't get out much. When Ignacy took away their research funding, I pulled some strings to get it back. He told me I was a fool, but they'll prove him wrong someday. I have faith. I hope you had an enlightening visit at the corpse farm. Elia is one of my favorite neighbors, second only to Quilici. When her best farmhand got stuck up a tree, I got him down in one piece. Well, several pieces. I've always looked up to her. And you got his machine up and running. That's what I call progress. I helped Monto after his wife died. She was brilliant, and he took the loss hard. I'm going to miss him. Sounds like you've met with everyone. We're ready to get started. So, did you learn anything of particular interest? That's the fun part of metaphysics. Everything is strange, but nothing is new. Look at us. Barely even started, and already we're making progress. Monto's machine is working, Elia will keep an eye on her revenants, and Yvette and Remy are providing us an alibi. I needed those animancers for more than their expertise. Monto's invention nullifies spiritual interference. Having it up and running means we won't get any false signals. Whenever I tap into an Adra pillar, Elia's farmhands tend to get a little bitey. Thanks to you, they won't be a problem. And then there's Yvette and Remy, the governor's eyes and ears. In exchange for privacy, I gave them a test subject. I'd call that a good day's work. Now we just need the right equipment for the job. When my parents died, they left me their life's work. An invention like no other. The phantasmal focus. Exactly. There are many ways of going about it. But my mother's invention will get us quick results. The problem is it's in the basement. I haven't gone down there since the accident. Since they died.
I can't blame you for avoiding a place like that.
I would get it myself, but I'm not ready to face what's down there. Terrible mistake. The door to the basement is just outside, around the corner. Of course you'll need a key. Please excuse the mess.
If that's where her parents died, I'm glad we can spare her from having to go back.
Okay, walking into the basement of an animancer I just met. Right, feels great. Don't know what I expected, but this isn't it.
Haven from the blight. Who grows here?
I feel pretty certain that those people aren't supposed to be planned.
What a horrific fate.
Beauty reborn. A life of peace.
Guards. We can leave now, right?
Poor Giada. To think she's been living with this right under her nose.
I don't. Anyone know what happened back there?
I think those were Giada's parents, or whatever's left of them.
So they're dead?
Or something like that.
Gods, I can't believe this.
Trees are tearing out their walls, but they still find time for a good debate.
They act like they've never seen a park room before.
If not for the overgrowth, you'd almost think you're in the Republics.
Got a lot to do here.
Not sure these walls are keeping much out.
You're back. You found it. You actually found my inheritance. Did you see my mother and father? Are they still there? I didn't have the words. All that's really down there is an unhappy memory. One that keeps on growing. My mother had an idea about how to use the essence of the living lands, and it destroyed her. My father, our family.
I've heard that story too many times. This land takes more than it gives.
So I swore an oath. No one could enter the lab until I understood what happened. I'm on the right track to figuring it out, which is almost as good. Enough about me. Let's worry about you for a change. With the phantasmal focus, I can finally tap directly into the essence of the living lands. I can also use it to smack around anyone who gets in our way. Don't worry. It's more durable than it looks. Kind of like me. The only thing we're missing now is an Adra pillar. And I know the perfect one. Naku Tedek, the old godless ruin west of Fjord. There should be some equipment waiting for us. We used it to study the Adra pillar. Then some priests moved in and took offense at our work. I hope they haven't tampered with the equipment, or this will be a very short experiment. Naku Tedek is special. I used to play there as a child and take rubbings of the memorial plaques. Historians think it may have once been a burial ground, a place where souls can return to the earth. So, we kept the tradition alive. Many of our founders are buried there, though not all of them, as you discovered. That rugged thing? It's as dry as a bone. Hardly any essence left. Even if it wasn't, I'm not exactly welcome in the workshop these days. Well, that covers everything. Let's go. The Dream Scourge can't hide for long. Before we head out, let's make the most of our time in Fjord. No telling how long we'll be gone. And I hate to be a problem, but I do my best work in small groups. Chalk it up to performance anxiety. That was not my finest hour. I was so angry. Mistakes were made. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, I don't want there to be any mistakes.
Sounds good. I need to do some hunting anyway.
Once we're all together, we should trade ghost stories. Best way to get acquainted. In the meantime, let's be off. Our research begins at Naku Tedek, west of town. Before we leave, don't forget to settle any unfinished business. My parents helped to build all of this. In a way, Fjord is my birthright. Ah, I love Fjord, Miss Iverno. Even when I hate it. I'm going to miss this place. My parents helped to build all of this.
If not for the overgrowth, you'd almost think you're in the Republics.
I hope no one minds. I made myself at home.
Don't mind at all. It's good to have you. Tell us a bit about yourself, Giada.
Let's see. A few things about me. I enjoy long conversations, and my favorite season is autumn. Apparently, I also snore, which annoys some people.
So do I. Glad it won't just be me now. We should pitch our tents on either side of Marius. The drone really helps him sleep.
Right, that's me. And the first rule of camp is never listen to Kai. He's a blessed Nimdude of the highest order.
If anyone needs their soul tinkered on, don't hesitate to ask. I'm rather good with souls.
I'll take your word for it.
Careful with that thing. We're not even sure what it does. And some of us have to sleep here. It's like a glove. I wish you could have seen Emerald Stair in better times.
What was it like? I've only passed through a few times over the years.
The evenings were cool. Fish leaped into our nets. Emerald Stair was everything.
Pleasant and abundant. Sounds like the fables old trenchers used to tell about Deadfire. Paradise.
It's getting late. I should be asleep by now, but as usual, I can't silence my thoughts. Just wake me up when the fighting starts, or if you talk to someone interesting, whichever comes first.
Hey, about earlier. Sorry for going off like that. I haven't talked about Tom in a while. I haven't had much of a crew lately, and it's been easy to follow your lead. Seeing the choices you've made has put me at ease. Maybe a little too much. First time for everything, huh? Ask away. You're asking me? I'm not much of a gossip. Okay, who do you want to know about? She's got a lot of heart, and she's loyal to her people and their principles, even when it costs her. Giada's lost her home, but kept her resolve. It takes a special kind of person to weather what she has and emerge stronger for it. She'll have a lot to figure out after all this, but she's gonna be okay. I noticed that too. It says a lot. I can't say what I'd want the future of Animancy to look like, but there's no one I'd trust more than Giada to figure it out. Sure. Holler if you need anything else. Who knew plants could be so threatening? If you get up in the night, don't wander too far.
Envoy? Hard to imagine what Giada's going through right now, with her parents and all that. I mean, I have no idea what actually happened there, but she lost her people. She'll need time to get past that. And she deserves it. Right, changing the subject? Right. I'm sure you'll find it absolutely gripping. Go ahead. I'll tell you whatever you want to know. It's a blessed mirror. Honestly, tell him ask. Right. Right. Go. Giada's a mystery to me. Animancers give me the vricus, and for good reason. Most of them would just as soon turn your soul into jewelry as look at you. Giada seems different. She's smart, thoughtful, and she's got a spine, too. You can tell when someone needs extra help out here, and she doesn't. So, yeah, I don't understand her, but I guess I don't have to, really. You too.
Thank you again for letting me join you. An Animancer never misses an opportunity to embrace the unknown. Still, being an Animancer feels different without Fior Mesiverno. For the first time, I don't have to prove myself to anyone. It'll take some getting used to, that's for sure. At least now I have a place I can call my own. Good, because I have a lot of research to do. And this could take a while. Not to change the topic, but this little adventure of ours, will it be dangerous? Just making sure I know what I signed up for. My mother and father taught me how to defend myself, among other things. When you need me, I'll be ready. I hope so, anyway. What do you want to know? I suppose you deserve to know, after what I put you through. My mother wanted to expand Fior's agriculture. Feeding Emerald Stair wasn't ambitious enough. She wanted to feed the world. She thought she could break the wilderness, using animancy as the whip. Turn the living lands into a garden. That's putting it lightly. After my father put the finishing touches on the phantasmal focus, she was impatient to get started. After all, whoever controls the spirit of the living lands has nature in the palm of their hand. My father thought so too. Emerald Stair was just the beginning to her. My father thought she was brilliant. Others thought she was mad. I think she was a victim of her own ambition. She wanted so much, and there was so little time to achieve it. Theoretically, her plan should have worked. The living lands had other ideas. When she used the phantasmal focus, theory collided with reality. Everything went wrong. I can't rule anything out, but I suspect the Dream Scourge had something to do with it. It lives in the essence of the living lands, corrupting whatever it touches. If I'm right, that means it's been here a long time, or the forces behind it. No. To my knowledge, the accident was no everyday occurrence. But neither was the experiment. My mother transgressed on nature, on existence itself. Still, I don't understand what went wrong. When I do, then I can finish her work. I was 17. That makes it... Gods, has it been 13 years already? After they died, I wouldn't go near a lab. It was ages before Quilici got me to crack open a book. I have a lot of catching up to do in my studies. Need to make up for lost time. My mother and father didn't know the risks, and I can't stop thinking about them. Caution and experience will stop us from repeating their mistakes. That's all I care to say for now. At least, about this topic. I thought my family's research could help Emerald Stair. That it could banish the Dream Scourge from our lands. Of course, Vidaro wouldn't even give me a chance. He was afraid of history repeating itself. Still, I'm hopeful. This legacy of mine could change Animancy as we know it. And something tells me I'm close to a breakthrough. Closer than my mother ever got. Good question. The idea of finishing my parents' work gives me a warm feeling. But do I want it? I know I've got one lifetime, and I want to do something with it. I'm glad you think so. Not that I need your approval, but I like knowing that I have it. This is the one life where I am Giada Castel, Animancer extraordinaire. In the next life, I could be an idiotic tree. I have an obligation to use the time I have. No Animancer has engineered an ecosystem before. Maybe, with a little luck, I could be the first. That little island off of Dawnshore? None that I know of. Ignato Casto led the Valian trading company in the Deadfire archipelago. Among other things, he invested in the future of Animancy, and apparently he had interests here. He had some ideas about moving great distances in the blink of an eye. As far as I know, he was unsuccessful. Animancy and ambition are a dangerous mixture. Intoxicating, but dangerous. Afraid not. I've heard a lot of contradictory stories coming out of the Deadfire in recent years. Some say Castle is still in power, while others think his second-in-command took over the Valian trading company. You know how it is. Wherever there's conflict, there's bound to be misinformation. I hope not. I wouldn't want my family associated with speculation, corruption, and whatever else happened in the Deadfire. We have enough problems already. Unfortunately, that's all I know. Whether or not Castle succeeded, I don't think it's folly to dream. Anyone in particular? I warn you, I'm not the best judge of first impressions. Kai is a useful fellow. We need people like him to keep you grounded. Just not too grounded. On the surface, Kai is all charm and confidence. You feel good knowing he's around. But there's something deeper. Something in his core that he guards from everyone. Maybe even himself. Kai wears his confidence like a mask. We all do. No one wants to project their frailties. But in his case, hiding behind it amplifies his better qualities. So I say, let him have his mask. If there's another side to him, he'll show us when he's good and ready. No need to rush a natural process. Marius is working through something. An old wound that hasn't healed. A search for forgiveness? Who knows? He's a tough fellow, but I wouldn't put too much pressure on him. We're all wounded. That's the price of survival in the living lands. Just look at you. Only just got here and you died in the line of duty. You may not be from the living lands, but the island left you a scar to remember. Now, you're just like us. We haven't been together long, but I think I have you figured out. In Paradise, you have a reputation for being an unlawful misfit. This is the frontier, after all. We don't exactly do things by the book. Fiorme Siverno tolerates you well enough. No doubt thanks to my influence. Of course, all I know is what you've done. You may not think these choices reflect who you are. At the end of the day, you shouldn't care what anyone thinks. All that matters is how you see yourself. I've spilled all the gossip I know. Ask me again when there's a new face in camp. Now that you mention it, I did try and awaken my soul to become fully aware of my past lives. Every animancer tries and fails. It's practically a rite of passage. So, one evening, I crept into the workshop and cobbled an invention together from spare parts. Amateur work. Then I turned it on. Big mistake. The next thing I knew, it was morning. I was floating in the fountain, and my head was pounding like a drum.
You don't need animancy for that. Just rum and a crew on shore leave.
That answers a lot of questions, honestly.
Sometimes I wonder, what if it actually worked? What if all of this happened before, and I'm just reliving the events of a past life? I try not to think about it too much. Ah, a simple question with a very complicated answer. The device is attuned to the spiritual energy of the living lands, much like a compass to magnetic north. But essence is chaotic by nature. As you saw with your own eyes, imposing order on chaos is not without risk. Indeed. Don't get me wrong, this invention is a small miracle, but it isn't enough. The phantasmal focus was supposed to be the start of something grand. One lever of a device that exists only in theory. Perhaps it should remain that way. What's on your mind? Ah, you want a story? Very well. Settle in. It all started about 50 years ago, in the great city of Spirento. A young nobleman by the name of Maxim Vidaro sought to inherit a distinguished government position. We'll get to that. A distant cousin cheated Maxim out of the title. He was devastated, his political future uncertain. No one lifted a finger to help. Not the banks, not the merchants, or the politicians. So, Maxim did what Valians do best. Maxim plotted his revenge. They say he prayed to Scan, the effigy, god of rebellion and defiance, to ask for a blessing. And Scan answered. Take their best and brightest, their heirs, their scholars, their futures, to the far side of the world, never to return. And Maxim did just that. He gathered a following and left the Valian republics. giving thanks to his dark god. We prefer to call it an intellectual haven of free thinkers, but it's true that most of us are animancers. Spirento was full of animancers, many of them in debt, and Maxim was a wealthy patron. They needed each other. So the animancers followed Maxim all the way out here, including my parents, Quilici, and others around town. At the time, this place was an animancer's dream. No oversight, limited government, and soil rich with essence. 40 years later, Maxim vanished. They say the effigy came to collect his soul. Of course, you and I know better. He died peacefully, content that what he made would outlast him. His son has been in charge ever since, for better or worse. His father had the advantages of growing up in Valian society. So did mine. He and I might squabble in public from time to time, but we're both just figuring it all out as we go. Thanks for listening. We should do this again.
I love a good ghost story. Just not the dreams I have afterwards.
Hadn't heard all that before. Probably a lesson or two in there.
One of these days you'll have to tell me an Adiran ghost story. You learn a lot about people by what scares them. Let me think. Quilici has a girlfriend, as cute as a button, and as smart as an archmage. That isn't a secret. I'm just happy for him. No one has seen Estelle Vidaro in some time, and Ignacy refuses to talk about it. She was always very kind to me. I hope she's all right. Have you heard of the incident at Beldereno Pass? 20 settlers lost their lives in a winter storm. Ever since, people have heard ghostly cries from a nearby cave. Fascinating, isn't it? Tragic, of course, but fascinating. Of course. What are you so curious about? Until next time. Between the two of us, thank you for helping Yatsli reach that vase. Maybe it seems like nothing to you, but to her it's everything. When you consider how many Orlans and dwarves there are, it's outrageous that we build so high off the ground. What a pain. Don't let her size fool you. On the inside, Yatsli stands as tall as a mountain. One of these days she's going to change the world, shake things up. And I'll be at her side, grinning like a fool. Anyway, thanks again. Not before I've done some reading.
Did they not glow in the light? Her parents, her sentinels. To grow and flourish still, life without rot, form without death. Is the mycelium monstrous? Fair or foul, it merely lives. Endless spring, they breathe, they flower, they will never fade. They sing in peace. peace? Was it not worth the change? Do we not? The bear would have spent its days in the wood. They are strong now, vibrant, better than their frail shells. Even the darkest evening clouds part with the morning mist. Sleep now, dream of beauty.